What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today is episode 3 of the garden renovation, so make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. As always, check out those links in the description. Make sure to check out Jimmy Goldfish USA and Star Fisheries for all your goldfish needs. Today we are going to be heading back outside for our last episode of the garden renovation. We are going to be laying down all of our gravel that we've got, and we're also going to be cladding the pond. So finally I managed to get the stone cladding for the pond and I'm really excited to put it on. I'm going to be showing you what it looks like. I'm just going to grab the box now for you and then we will be applying that onto the pond. We're also going to be installing the garden lights. I've roughly put them in the garden. So I've got 6 lights. One is going to go onto the water feature and the other 5 are going to go around the perimeter of the garden, just so it's quite nice in the evenings when we want to sit out there. But I need to place them in their exact positions. I just roughly put them in just to check they work and see what they look like. But we're going to be putting all of those in the right position before we lay the gravel down, and then we're just going to do the last final touches to the garden, and I cannot wait to have it finished. So I'm going to show you now what the cladding looks like for the pond. So basically it is a stone cladding like this. It's really thin. It's like a thin tile and it's got this like textured fake stone on the outside, and I thought it looked quite nice. And it's a dark grey in colour, so I thought it would contrast against the light grey patio and the lighter grey stones that we've got. I thought it would look quite nice. And then we're going to have to cap the top of the pond off, and I've got some Indian sandstone for that as well that I need to cut, which is also a dark grey. So I'm going to head outside now. We're going to get started. We've got some more angle grinder blades. I think I've gone through around 15 blades so far, but I bought another 5 to do all the cladding and to do the sandstone around the top. And then after we've done that, or during that, we're going to start laying all the gravel out and moving those lights. So I'm going to head outside now and get cracking. As you can see, here are the lights which I've just randomly placed into the garden. You can see they're quite small and they're going to be quite inconspicuous between the gravel once that's laid over the top. As you can see, the garden is an absolute building site right now. There is dust, dirt, bags of soil everywhere. The liner is all pushed up and creased. So right now I'm just moving those lights into the areas that I want them to be in and sort of maneuvering the liner a little bit, making sure it's nice and flat so that gravel and the stones can go nicely on top of it, because I don't want any of that black liner showing through or coming up the sides or showing between the rocks. I decided in the end to put 2 lights actually onto the water feature, so it's got lights hitting it from either side. Now I'm just removing that other little bit of liner, cutting it to shape, making sure it's really nice and neat, especially around that drain hole. Now that drain hole is a little bit of an eyesore, but luckily it is really useful when doing water changes and changing the water, so I actually don't mind it too much. You can see now I've just placed those lights around the garden and I've still got that absolutely huge bag of soil, or bags of soil, but luckily they will be going by the end of the video. So quickly I'm just neatening up all of that liner, and now finally we're going to start placing all of the gravel onto the liner, which I've been waiting absolute ages to do, and it really starting to feel like the garden is coming along now. So this is actually just under half of the gravel that I got delivered. So we got 1 ton, 1,000 kilos of gravel delivered in the end, and it's a sort of sparkly grey colour. It is actually a granite gravel, so it's really fine bits of granite that's been smashed up into evenly sized chunks. So currently I'm just placing that all around the edges, making sure those edges are nice and neat, nice and straight, and then slowly walking towards the center. Once I'd laid all of this out, I realized that I had so much gravel and that was only 40% of the bags laid. So here I'm now bringing in the rest of it, and I even had a couple of bags spare at the end, which I eventually ended up putting on the gravel, and because I can always take it up in the future if I needed to, or if I needed to move it and put it somewhere else. But as you can see, we've pretty much covered the garden already, and we've got even more to come. We've still got another load. I'm just raking it out now so it's nice and straight. Here you can see a little garden shot in the evening when the lights are on, and you can see the lights and the water feature and just around the perimeter of the garden, and it really feels like it's starting to come together now. I'm really happy that I've started this project and it's really starting to come along now. Really happy with it overall. So also I didn't have the water feature running because the wire on the pump wasn't long enough, so I purchased a waterproof connector and some cable and connected that up so I could plug that into the switch box of the Ranchu pond, which would just go under the gravel. As you can see, it's really getting dark now, so sorry about